It's the first podcast / video chat that we're doing on the channel. I'm with Nat. Do you want to introduce yourself first?
Hi, my name's Nat. Plug myself at NSX Performance.
Yes,
on Insta. I'm an athletics coach, also golf fitness coach, and an amateur long driver.
Yeah,
not
so
this guy's standard.
Yeah, you've competed before a few times.
Previously, yeah, years ago, yeah.
A couple of years ago, when like European
early stages of long drive. Yeah.
European long drive was just kicking off. Right, the idea of this is I'm kind of probably going to split this, take out the audio, put it on a podcast. But for the sake of YouTube, I'm going to try and do a few of these. Obviously, not all in my front room in the flat. But I'm going to be travelling quite a bit next year, so it gives a good chance to have a chat with a variety of guests, and I think it could be quite interesting. Today, the main focus, or what we're going to talk about, is golf and fitness, basically. I mean, do you want to do this bit? Do you want to say the whole idea behind this, chat? Because I'm going to kind of lead it, and then Nat's going to take it by the horns, basically, and talk about it.
Yeah, we'll take it by the horns, have a bit of back and forth with
so what's the main thing that we're going to get from this? It's just basically we're talking about golf.
We're talking about golf fitness. It'll be different ideas, stages of training, how that works into your golf game, improving club head speed, power, strength, all the good stuff, and then just a little summary at the end of how we feel about the way the industry is moving, basically.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if this is going to be up on the channel before the training videos, but we're going to be doing those as well. As I said before, I'm kind of making sure I do some long drive specific training videos, and I don't offer everyone on the channel, but there's definitely a few of you that are interested, and we were talking about this. There's not much information out there for golf fitness, and the stuff that is generally populated by it's TPI dominated.
TPI dominated.
And we're going to maybe touch on that as well, as it is. I don't want to say anything yet, but there are better ways of talking about training for golf, arguably. Definitely. So right, let's get into it. So Nat's made some notes. We're gonna lead from the top and just go back and forth a bit as we go through it. So the first
point would be functional movement screening. If you're really serious about your golf fitness, definitely go and get one done. Now, TPI do have a good functional movement screening system. So if you go on their website, you can see that. It just goes through some general mobility. Assess how well you can move, and then they'll go from there as to exercises you can do that make your range of motion a bit better, so that you can get into the positions that your coach wants you to, and hopefully get more out of your swing.
You were saying that was the part from TPI that was actually decent, right?
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. There's a lot of exercises they've got on there. I think there's an app as well that you can access that takes you through that, so you can even do that stuff at the range as well as part of a warm up.
Yeah, and I know I'm probably going to start doing, because I do personal training as well.
That'd be great.
I try and golf for sport specific people, and a couple of guys have asked me recently, like, can you sort out some online training? And it is hard, and it isn't hard to do it. If you've got the right screening and tests that you do for each client, you can then formulate a plan for each one. So that's definitely something that I'll be.
It's very personable. That's it. Even though the exercises are quite general, it's specific to the needs of each individual.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Hence the word assessment.
Now mobility. Now that's arguably.
It's a broad topic.
It is very broad, and it's something that I didn't do enough of until fairly recently. But I'm seeing the benefits massively so far.
So there's a difference, you don't have to be like an elastic band. You don't have to contort yourself into uncomfortable positions, but you do need to be mobile to an extent. So improving that is as easy as literally doing 2-3 minutes a day of the general exercises, working mainly from head to toe, because that's easy for people to remember. Start at your neck, shoulders, hips, ankles, stuff like that, all the way down.
And if someone said, right, add, and this is mainly for people, it's kind of for everyone, but mainly for people in the older age category, from like 40 upwards, really. If one of those guys comes to me and said, look, I want to add 5 miles an hour club head speed, that in the shortest time possible, that would be the first place I started, was be getting them mobile, because you see it with everyone. Unless they've they've done mobility or they are training regularly, they're so tight.
Yeah.
They can't generate club head speed because they can't separate the.
That's it. There's no dissociation between the trunk and the hips. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, it's such an important aspect, and the reason I got into it to the degree I'm into it, but the reason I started doing it a lot recently is just because I had to go see the chiro.
Okay.
So I was getting pain like in my mid spine.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday on the course. You know, we're both quite fit guys, but when you neglect that stuff, you can become really tight.
Yeah, I was very inflexible in like the chest area and the hips, and what that was doing was loading all the pressure when I separated into my mid back, and it was really uncomfortable. I thought that I was injured, and I thought that may be me out basically for the season, so I was really worried. But the chiro, Ian Crombie, I'll link him as well. We went through some exercises, he freed me up, and I've been doing mobility and I haven't got any pain since.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah.
And I mean, some people are so stiff that mobility can be the actual session alone.
Yeah.
I've had some people come to me and all we've done is just warm up and then they go home. Because I'd rather them move properly before they get into further sessions. So.
No, you see it endlessly, don't you? When you see PTs train clients and or even for their
even themselves
for their induction, right? That someone will come in the door, like a client will come in the door, so I write induction, and they'll put them through some like bodyweight squats and stuff, and they can barely like get up.
Yeah,
they're so tight. So that's not
even to go off topic, that's something that anyone can really seek to do. If you sit in deep squat for like a minute a day, it's just really good for your hips and your back.
Yeah.
I went to Arizona, I'll plug a place called Premier Fitness Systems, PFS Golf, and a lot of the guys were sitting in deep squat, and I was like, this is a bit weird. Tried it out, and like a day later my mobility just feels so much better. Yeah, it's so natural as well. That's what it's an element of, is getting back to just moving better.
Yeah. Now, we did quite a lot of mobility before we did the session today, so depending whether that is up or not, make sure you check out that stuff, because there's a lot of good mobility stuff in there. And another thing, like just generally getting warmed up as well for swinging the golf club. Again, like say like doing mobility is the quickest way to increase your club speed over a certain amount of time. But if you were to say, how can you increase your club speed by 5 miles an hour on a day? Then putting you through mobility and the correct warm-up sequences.
Yeah, it's just absolutely imperative.
Mate, like when I'm practicing long drive, and I get down the range, I would say that if I went out there and just swung the club a few times and hit a driver, I reckon I'm 10 miles an hour slower at least than when I'm warmed up and I've done mobility and I've
We talked about this on the course yesterday. We had a little long drive competition and you hit it far, but probably not as far as you can do, because obviously we're playing golf, and I've heard Joe Miller say it as well. You can swing hard on the course, but you haven't got the time to warm up.
No.
It's just not the time.
Especially if it's cold. You're like walking 10 minutes between shots. You're freezing cold
again.
Yeah, like we experienced yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the cause of my short game problems. It's the weather.
Your wrist weren't mobile.
My brain was frozen.
Right, so we'll kind of move into methods of training.
Absolutely.
So starting
I take it from the top. I'm an athletics coach, so everything that I do is speed.
This is your area.
And this stuff works so well for golf as well. So we'll get into a bit of science. Speed, you just want to move your body as fast as possible. Now, you can't do that without being mobile, but you have to train fast to be fast.
Yeah.
So swinging at 80% of your capacity is not going to make you faster.
Yeah.
So, products like Super Speed are very good. If you can't afford that, not a problem. You can swing a shaft through the air, you can flip the golf club upside down. That's how I built my speed as a junior, the swoosh drill.
Yeah.
Where you flip it upside down, loudest noise at or just past impact.
Yeah.
5-10 times a day, and my club speed went through the roof. Yeah.
It's funny because I've said this story a few times.
I love that drill. Sorry, by the way, when my striking's gone out the window, I just get back to that and it brings everything back. Yeah. So it's a natural drill,
sequencing and everything. Yeah, I mean, I've said this a few times on the channel. When I was a junior, from like the age of 15 to 16, over that winter, I gained 30 yards, and I wasn't in the gym, but like Bubba Watson and JB Holmes turned up on the PGA Tour. It's
Yeah,
like 2006.
06, yeah.
Right, so Sony Open.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Bubba Watson
like
was
340,
hitting.
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was averaging like 340, and he was hitting like a 398-yard drive. And I remember watching
G5, yeah.
on YouTube like the highlights, and I couldn't get enough of it. I remember that week Bubba Watson didn't make a bogey as well at the Sony Open.
And then 100 straight holes without a bogey.
Yeah, that's it. And then JB Holmes come out and won the FBR Open, which is now the Waste Management.
He's carrying it like 350.
Yeah, on the 18th at the FBI, carried it over the bunker. No one had done that, and it was at that point, like over that period, that I was like got obsessed with it. And all I did was go to the range and just hit it just really hard, and that alone just gained me like 20 yards, 30 yards. I must have increased my club head speed by like 10 miles an hour over the winter just from swinging hard.
You know, any juniors watching this, or any parents who have juniors, that's a great point. There is a window. Anyone can improve their speed, but there's like a genetic window when you're younger, when you really need to really pile that stuff on.
Yeah.
And that's the same in sprinting. That some of my kids, I just try to get them to move as fast as they can while they're young. So it's built into their system, the neural patterning of it, and then anything they do in the years after will be a lot easier.
That's what Joe Miller's coach says, isn't it? About getting juniors swinging hard.
Yeah, swing hard, and we'll figure out straight later.
Yeah, that's what Jack Nicklaus's coaches said as well, isn't it?
Oh, did he? I didn't know that. Jim Flick, yeah, he did say that, didn't he? Yeah. Great coach.
Right, what other parts of speed do you want to talk about? Because it's quite a...
I'll get into a bit of science. So when you're sprinting, your latissimus dorsi muscle and the glutes work in opposition to each other. So it's called a contralateral system. It's called the posterior oblique system. So whatever the left lat does, the right glute will do. And you see this a lot, obviously, when you're swinging.
Yeah.
When you've done your turn, one area flexes and the other extends. So any sprinting that we can do should have a carryover to the swing, because you're using the same sling system within the body.
Yeah.
So any of that kind of work, any bird dog, any disassociation movements with the core and that. Have you never done that?
Nah.
No, don't do yoga.
I've had a few bird dogs. We'll skip on that. No, what's the bird dogs? What, like the yoga move?
Yeah, the yoga move, or Superman, when you extend the opposite limbs.
Right.
It's just a really good move.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Because the area of your body is working.
Yeah.
You can relate it to golf. It has carryover. This is what we're trying to do with the training. It's good to be specific, but you can get too specific. That's another thing, is overuse, injury from overuse.
Yeah.
As good as rotation training is, you think you're playing golf, you're playing 18 holes, you're rotating probably 60 times.
Yes, a lot.
To go in the gym and then do another 50, 60 reps is
literally
just overkill.
To the point where you're building up the muscles on this side so much greater. I remember when I competed in men's physique, took a break from golf, and when I got to like really low body fat, the muscle, the V muscles down here, like bottom of your like obliques area, the left side was like bulging out because it had developed so much from years, from years of swinging, and my right side was literally non-existent. So there's a thing to say there about like how much of an impact it is having just like swinging a golf club, basically.
Absolutely, yeah.
What other points of speed have we got here before we move into the other areas?
It improves just hormonal balance, spikes insulin, so it's really good for your system.
Yeah.
As far as increasing skeletal muscle, it's really good for that.
Yeah.
So it's almost as good as lifting, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's a real power event. You can get a lot of benefits from it, bodily wise, physiologically.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking about I'm not thinking about it, I'm definitely going to add it into my training.
Definitely.
You were saying once a week, right?
Yeah, just once a week is enough. Fires up your system, complements the work you're doing.
Yeah. And the other thing was the session I put up, the first power session as such, that's like my power day. So through the week, and you'll see more of this as I'm training, but I'll have like a lower strength day, upper strength day. I'll probably have lower upper rest, then a power day at the end.
Yeah, that's a good split.
And that power day can be running on the track, or I'll probably start the week. You were saying it's probably best to start the week with power stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
When you're fresh. So that would be either run on the track or this kind of power stuff, but anything basically is getting you moving fast.
Yeah, anything getting you on and off the ground, jumping, sprinting, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Basketball, obviously. I don't know if you notice a trend. You get a lot of the long hitters and on the tour, like good college basketball players. Woodland, I think Johnson's quite good at basketball.
Yeah. And base. You see quite
baseball.
you see quite a lot of baseball.
Yeah, in the long drive, guys.
In long drive.
A lot of pitchers.
So
I thought it would be
the
get a crossover from batting, but seems to be the pitching.
Yeah.
I think it's the separation and the loading and that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, what we're talking about as well about training splits, and because I think if you go by a lot of the stuff that you see online, especially the TPI stuff, it involves a lot. Their training's based mostly around mobility and core stability, but to actually increase power, you've got to get your like top end strength, your maximum strength
threshold's
up.
got to go up.
So you've got your strength this side, speed here, power meet like somewhere in the middle. So if you can bang up your top end strength, your power is.
Again, that's another thing, is what sprinting is good for. It's called the force velocity curve. So the faster that you can work and build that threshold, the better.
Yeah.
Like we say, working at 80% of your capacity all the time is not going to do anything for your speed. You need to be pushing the limits, recover, and then you see the benefits.
So
you can't sprint every day because it's overkill. You can't lift heavy every day. You do need to. The recovery is as important as the training.
Yeah, that's not stressed enough, is it?
No, it really isn't.
No, it really isn't at all.
Because of the culture, unfortunately, is hashtag grind and hashtag hustle, which is great. There's a time for it, but not every day.
Yeah.
Less is more. As an athletics coach, I'm a minimalist. You do as much as is necessary, not as much as you can. But people don't really want to hear that.
Yeah, they just want to be like, get 4 hours of sleep. And,
that's it.
Train at 4
Get up at
a.m.
4 in the morning and
train for 8 hours, pushing
and sleep. Sleep is the best recovery you can do ever.
100%.
And even I don't do enough of it. And you should.
Yeah.
So that brings us into what? Power and force.
Power and strength.
Lifting.
Force production.
You're a strong guy. You do your basic compound lifts, which I think is most important.
Yeah, I mean,
strengthen the organism and then get specific by playing the sport.
Yeah, that was the main point that we were talking about in the car yesterday. Like, I was mentioning I was doing a bit more power, but I felt like I was doing too much plyos and too much specific movements for that. And then some other guys that are really successful were just like in the gym doing their strength work.
Yeah, and
then the only like specific stuff they do is with a golf club.
Yeah, swing it fast.
Yeah.
You imagine if you go and I think that was the old way of thinking with goal training was, right, you're swinging a club, let's swing a real heavy club because that's going to produce power, and now we know that that's not the best training you can do.
No,
it's better to go light.
Yeah.
To get the speed to
like
recruit the muscle fibres. Yeah.
Turn the club upside down.
Yeah.
Spend £300 on 3 colourful sticks.
It's a good system, but it's just there's cheaper alternatives.
Yeah.
If you research it and if you have a look.
No, 100%. Right, this is a big area in power and strength.
It's a massive area, yeah.
Like, I feel like we could spend a lot of time talking about.
We could be a week.
Yeah, writing programs.
Yeah.
Which I was saying earlier, I was doing research last night and looking up the most successful like javelin shot putters, just Olympic throwing athletes, right? And there's a lot of crossover. That's probably the most.
The movement pattern is the sequential movement is very close to what you see in a golf swing.
Yeah.
The ground force, the blocking of limbs, and the transfer of energy. So any throwers that you can look at, is probably best to really look at what they're doing training wise.
Yeah.
And those guys are
it
super
was
strong.
Scary. Like I would say, in the grand scheme of things, my maximal strength is poor. I'm probably maxing a squat about 150 kilos, bench 120.
A deep squat, yeah, 82G.
Yeah.
That's decent.
And deadlifts, I don't know, probably about 210, 220 at the moment. Right, and I've not trained enough for that. I've had lifts greater than that in the past. But if you look at some of these top level performance athletes, their lifts are through the roof. And this is like a javelin thrower, and you'd see he was quite a big guy, but not like muscle bound or anything, and was benching over 200 kilos, would be squatting 300, deading 350. So I mean, that's
being around elite athletes. I've seen some of the numbers, and it always shocks me.
Scary.
Just the power to strength, the mass specific force they create is just through the roof.
Yeah.
Which is part of being an elite athlete, is getting strong, but not putting that much mass on that you can't move it. Obviously, the heavier you are, the more powerful you have to be with regards to your body weight. So that's hard to keep bumping up the curve.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk in golf now as to people want to get strong, and they're saying you need to put mass on, but you're going to have to keep upping your power levels.
Yeah.
It becomes a point of diminishing returns, really.
Yeah, I mean, muscle mass,
good to stay
once
light,
it's
but
increased,
to be strong
it does lead to strength increases, but you want to be targeting the central nervous system.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, more than the muscular system as a whole.
Your CNS is like a cup. It's not to be abused. You can only withdraw so much from it before you need to, refuel it again. So again, recovery is important.
Just sleep all the time. Absolutely. Fine.
As far as lifts, because obviously on my athletics background, you've got a lifting background. We were talking, weren't we, discussing things that maybe you're going to reduce or even take out of your program.
Yeah.
Which was
squats.
The squats. Yeah, it's controversial. Everyone loves a big squat number. If you need to run fast, you need to squat a lot. If you need to hit the ball far, you need to be powerful in your glutes, and that squatting's not the only way to go. The recovery I found is treacherous, especially for deep squats.
Yeah.
The DOMs are just incredible.
Yeah.
Whereas something like a forward step up is perhaps been proven to have more glute max activation than a squat.
Yeah.
And I've got the studies to back that up as well.
Yeah.
There's 74% activation. I think the squat was in the 40s or the 50s.
Yeah.
Single leg deadlift was more activation.
And you were saying about using hex bar over conventional deads as well.
Yeah, absolutely. For
which is what you hear quite a bit.
Jump squats, because of the position of the handles, you can produce more vertical force, and that is the name of the game in hitting the ball further. Is increasing the vertical force that we can put into the ground and get out of as well.
No, 100%.
And that will improve the sequencing also.
Yeah.
Ground up.
I mean, squats it is a good way.
Yeah, it's great exercise.
It's a good way of testing your maximum strength. But I mean, putting in a program. Say you were to do a power day on Monday, then Tuesday you did lower, Wednesday upper, rest, then got back to legs again. Giving it like 2-3 days. There's sometimes that you can't recover, and also if you're trying to do some long drive training, or even trying to play golf in say the midweek Stableford, whatever, the next day, you can't even move.
I think that's a lot of people that they say, oh yeah, these guys squat heavy and run fast. These guys are getting massage on tap all the time. That's another thing that's overlooked, is that area of recovery. If you haven't got that to hand, you can't do that training. You have to be a bit more sensible and adhere to what you can cope with.
Yeah. 100%, mate. 100%. Right. Anything else in power and strength that you want to discuss?
Yeah, PAP being the video that we did, post-activation potentiation, just really firing up your muscles and kind of tricking your body into recruiting more fibres and producing more force than you usually would.
Yeah.
And then going and swinging straight after that. So it's a bit of overspeed there.
And that's the same
maximum contraction.
The same concept is if you guys have followed like a bodybuilding split and you've done drop sets.
Yeah.
And you've worked your way up, and 70 was hard, then you got 90, you've activated lots of muscular fibres, and then as you come back down, you've recruited all of those. Obviously 70 is easier, so it's the same kind of idea.
Exactly the same concept, yeah.
Right.
Medicine ball as well, very important. As good as weights are with your barbell, your compound lifts, I think medicine ball is, especially for the beginner, the young athlete, and even for people who are older and less mobile, medicine balls easier to use. You can actually move it quicker. The joint range of motion that you can go through is more extensive, so medicine ball's not to be neglected.
Yeah, sure.
And there's so many variations you can do. Slams, throws, there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
Whereas weights sometimes you're just constricted, aren't you, to push and pull. So
yeah, no, 100%.
As good as weights are, there are different alternatives.
Yeah. Right, I mean, this has been, like half an hour, 20 minutes. Oh, hang on, why is it flashing? Bit of technical stuff here. Nah, it's fine.
Good. You've lost it
Good.
all, yeah.
I think it's just freaking out because it's like, shit, I've never filmed this long before. 25 minutes in. So, I mean, we've breezed kind of through these topics and we've not got in depth at all, but it's just true, as it's the first video, just to basically give an overlook on
absolutely, yeah.
on each topic, training, really.
I mean, the hardest part is we know what the best exercises are. You know what, if you experiment enough, you know what's best for you. Is then putting it in a program.
Yeah.
And then going and playing or going and doing your long drive and just plotting it around that, really.
Yeah, rather than being in the gym 5 days a week, rotating on a medicine ball.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a time.
You probably hear a lot of that, don't you?
Swinging on the Swiss ball, you ever seen that?
No.
Stand on the ball and do
yeah.
Yeah, it freaks me out.
I know, you're just waiting for an accident.
Gone, yeah, that's it.
Anything else to summarise? We kind of discussed sleep.
Yeah, we've been summarising, haven't we, going along?
Yeah.
Sleep's important, recovery.
Yeah.
Stretching after rather than before. I'm not a massive fan of static stretching. I'm really not. There's studies that show it reduces that power output.
You lose the elasticity.
In the muscles, exactly. That's why the mobility stuff's better. It's pulse raising activity. You are gradually increasing the range of motion in your muscles. You're not holding anything static.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, if they've got soreness, want to stretch it out, which is just not good at all. It's better to go through a swing or do some kind of gradual movement.
Yeah.
Ease the tension in the muscle.
Get some blood in there as well.
Yeah, that's it, get some blood flowing.
So yeah, you want to talking about minimalistic.
Yeah.
Minimalistic.
Like we said, do as much as is necessary, not as much as you absolutely can.
Yeah. Well, this has been a fairly short talk, but I hope it's kind of given an insight. See, Nat's got a lot of education in this area. I'm a personal trainer myself, so I've done quite a lot of research in this area as well. And I think what we'll do as we go forward is, do a few more videos and really delve.
Get into some real good depth.
Yeah, in depth on a few topics. Now, it is likely that this is going to be released before the training videos, so make sure you keep an eye on them, as well as all the other stuff that we got coming up soon, training wise, on the channel. And any final thoughts, Nat? We've been pretty serious, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been uptight.
Yeah,
It's been good. It's been a good talk.
Good.
I think people are a bit scared of golf fitness, actually. I've coached older clients in the past, and you talk about golf fitness, and they're put off. Oh, you're not going to have me running laps around the range, huh? No, not at all.
No.
It is simple. It's just maybe even doing some leg swings and just getting more range in your hips. Some calf raises for your just ankle mobility.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Literally
better movement.
Literally as simple as that.
You get better swinging, better game. Yeah.
So injury prevention and increasing power on the day. This goes out to all the people that
everyone
just turn up, get out their car and walk to the first tee, because you're not doing yourself any favours, and that's probably why you don't make a bar until like the 5th hole.
Not to go off topic, that's my grandfather got into golf fairly late. I think he was 65, and when he got to about 70, it's when I got into golf fitness stuff. Had him warming up, old clubs. Hasn't changed his gear, and he's picked up like 30 yards.
Really?
Yeah, just from doing his stuff.
Yeah.
Just wrist rotation stuff, hinges, because he's so immobile.
Yeah.
That's just got him moving better, and the distance increase is just insane.
Was it hard to get him to do it?
No, not at all. He was really enthusiastic. Yeah, because it was like, do you want a few more yards? And he's going to turn that down.
Right, so yeah, cut off a bit then. So yeah, this is it, first podcast. Not sure what you think, but leave your comments down below and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Make sure you follow Nat on Instagram. We've already plugged him. And if you're in the London area and you want some,
yeah, sprint specific, golf fitness specific, come and see me. I'm an approachable guy. Like sharing my knowledge. You don't know about that?
Don't know about that, mate.
No, I like interacting with different people. It's always fun to help someone improve what they're doing already.
Yeah, 100%. Right, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks.